At 68, the best fight looks like you and Benavidez. He's born in America. He's half Ecuadorian. So does he count as Mexican, or that fight can happen if in the future?
I don't know. Anything can happen,
But that won't be a reason why I can hold it up that he's Mexican. That
like when I guys, always I say this, you share that video and put whatever you want. When I say I don't want to fight Mexican, it's because I represent Mexico. And that's why. But I don't care. I fight anybody. And I fight all my entire life, anybody. What do you think? I don't want to fight with one Mexico or Benavidez. But look, I hear his dad talking a lot of shit. But look, he's accomplished nothing. One single champion, Anthony Dirrell. Please, don't disrespect myself. Please, guys.
I suppose.
No more question because I'm a little mad and I'm tired.
Hey, get the payday. You want payday? I know that Canelo is out here looking crazy. Dmitry Bivol's team finally speaks out, and they basically say Canelo don't really want it. In this video, I will break everything down. Don't you worry. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. I've been saying it for a minute, but boy, when I tell you, the walls are closing in on Canelo Alvarez, and it ain't looking pretty. I told you it was the end of Canelo's era before the Bivol fight, and now it's certainly looking like that years later. So ESPN Deportes, they came out and said basically Canelo Bivol is far apart and in jeopardy. I will read you the quote and give you my thoughts. It says the rematch between Saul Canelo Alvarez and Dmitry Bivol is further away than ever, as revealed by the manager of the champion, Bivol, assuring they will not accept the conditions that have been put on the table. So he's considering Artur Beterbiev, the other monarch of the division, as his main objective. Wow. This is a quote from the manager of Dmitry Bivol, Canelo'S. He says, quote, this is about Canelo's team, quote, they don't want revenge. They know that they lost very ugly in the first fight and that they have less chance of winning in the second fight. When did you hear from a fighter who, after losing, asked for revenge on the same terms? So he's calling Canelo's team's bluff and saying, it's all cap. This ain't facts. Bivol's manager continues, quote, in my opinion, I don't think that they want revenge and they are just saying it to justify themselves and make another fight like they did when they fought Gennady Golovkin a third time, John Ryder, and maybe Edgar Berlanga. A rematch cannot take place on the same terms of the fight you lost. It's absurd. We are looking forward, so Artur Beterbiev is our goal, says Canelo'S. Man, it's looking bad for your boy Canelo. Now, here's why it looks bad. Because Canelo Alvarez definitely lost to Bivol in the first fight. I don't care what he's talking about. I don't care what the Canelo man fans is talking about. He definitely lost. You have never seen someone who was reportedly the #1 pound for pound or the face of boxing, and they fought somebody who was expected to lose, and then they put up that type of performance like Canelo, arguably winning very little rounds to no rounds, right? You've never seen it. When Floyd Mayweather was #1 consensus pound for pound, you never seen him fight somebody who everyone had no hopes for and lose the fight. He retired undefeated. Same thing with Andre Ward. Everybody that gave Andre Ward any type of issue were guys that you would expect a good fight, like Kovalev. You would expect that Sergey Kovalev could give you a tough fight. You know, he was the champion. Andre Ward was 2 fights new to the division, right? Canelo, he dropped the ball in a major way. He could have took a PBC offer, but he decided to team back up with Eddie Hearns, and then he got cooked by Bivol. Now Bivol's team is calling him out. Now, I talked about this in my past videos. It's up to you guys to subscribe. I don't care. The work is still coming on a daily. I'm going to drop the content. There's going to be someone that listens to it. So if you want to be well informed what's going on in boxing, hit the subscribe button. If you don't, then see ya. Wouldn't want to be you. I made videos about this explaining it. Canelo's team, they think they're slick, what they are trying to do in the Bivol rematch, and Beterbiev is an option for Bivol because Bivol's team is not playing this game with Canelo and they're not falling for the bull. And let me explain once again. Initially, Bivol was saying he'll drop down to 168. And if you listen to some of my past videos, I was like, no, because I thought that was something that Canelo would try to do to starve him down. But when I seen that Bivol's team actually wanted the fight at 168, upon further consideration, I understand it. And it makes a whole lot of sense. So let me explain in case you missed some of those past videos. The reason Bivol wants the fight at 168 is because Canelo is undisputed there. He already mopped him up and easily beat him at 175. So there's really no incentive to dog walk him at 175. Bivol is the champion. So beating Canelo, he doesn't care just about money or fighting a name like Canelo. He already did that and he beat him. So he needs to incentivize himself, which is why he wants to fight Canelo at his preferred weight. Another reason on top of incentivizing Bivol so he can really get up and train and, motivate himself, is he is calling their bluff because Canelo's team and his fans came up with a lot of cockamamie excuses when Canelo lost. Oh, Bivol was way too big and this is not Canelo's true weight. Canelo's really a 154 pounder, yada, yada, yada. So Bivol's team is trying to nip it in the bud and say, okay, thought about it. I'll come to you so it'll make it worth my while in terms of fighting in a new division. It's a new competition and I have a chance at undisputed titles, or at least most of the titles, because we know the sanctioning bodies will try to protect Canelo and say they're not going to sanction the fight and things like that. So he can fight for undisputed or most of the titles. And then here's the kicker. Canelo's team, if they lose again to Bivol at 168, they lose the titles and there's no excuse because Canelo was undisputed there. So he has nothing to fall back on, no safety net if Bivol not only beats him again, but beats him at the division where he's undisputed. Which is why Kornilov, the manager of Bivol, is calling Canelo's bluff, saying, when in history have you seen a guy won it on the same terms? We're saying we'll come to you at 168, and then Canelo saying, nah, let's do this at 175. So this is why they're far apart, and this is why there's an impasse with this particular fight. And I'm so happy that Dmitry Bivol and his team are sticking to their guns and calling Canelo on their BS. So if you do see the rematch, then it's going to be a rematch at Bivol's options. Because again, the boxing fans say stuff like, oh, just beat the guy and then you'll become the guy. But then Bivol beat Canelo and then Canelo still wants to dictate the terms of the fight. What part of the game is that? So I don't think Canelo should be allowed to dictate anything. You fought him, you were the A side entering the fight. Now you the B side in this equation because he's the champion and he already mopped you up and dominated you. So good on Team Bivol. I hope they stick to their guns, and it's gonna look bad for Canelo because he'll probably fight Edgar Berlanga or another John Ryder type of fight that no one's really asking for. So if he doesn't take the tough fights on PBC, David Benavidez, Jamal Charlo, David Morrell Jr., fights like that, then people are going to want to see him fight Bivol. And if he doesn't fight that and says, oh, I'm fighting at cruiserweight, or I'm going to fight this unknown person from, Lithuania or something, or Edgar Berlanga, all these fights people aren't asking for, is going to look extremely bad for Canelo. I will keep you posted. Canelo era is looking done. Drop your thoughts in the comments section. Let me know what you think of Bivol's manager and the fight falling apart and being in potential jeopardy. And I'm out.